One technique to create a rendered drawing is to begin using a reductive process rather than additive. So instead of working from a paper white background and adding media, you will tone your paper to a mid-tone, then erase the light areas and add media for darker shadows. To begin, use vine or willow charcoal to tone your paper. Use a chamois or a scrap piece of paper to blend your marks, leaving an even mid-tone on your paper. In terms of a 5-step value scale, tone your paper to about a 3. Then, not pictured, do some light sketching with your vine charcoal to lay out your drawing. With vine charcoal, it's easy to blend areas that need correcting into the mid-tone of the paper. Next, use your kneaded eraser to lift out the light areas. Then, use vine charcoal to add in the dark areas. This will create a 3-step value scale in the drawing, a light, mid, and dark tone. This is a good point to check the drawing's proportions and finalize the layout. For my drawing, I chose to zoom in on this troll section. I decided to stray away from the 18 by 24 inch rectangle and make a more squared off composition. Notice I have followed the rule of thirds with the pattern fabric taking up most of the bottom third and placing the troll along the left thirds line. From this point, I will work my way around the drawing, turning my 3-step value scale drawing into a 5-step value scale. So I'm adding compressed charcoal now to get my darks nice and dark. Take a look at how to approach the hair texture. I'm not drawing every strand of hair, but rather beginning with the overall shape of the hair and laying in the value structure of light area, shadow, core shadow, and reflected light. The highlights in this fluffy hair won't be a starkly bright section, so I'm just using my kneaded eraser to establish the general light area of the overall shape of the hair. See how the hair comes together at the end in clumps? Think of a wet clump of hair, how it combines into points in sections at the end. After the overall form is established, to bring out some detail in the hair, I'll go back in with a fine point, the corner of a charcoal stick or a charcoal pencil, and add strands here and there, following the contour of the hair's shape and straying some, but not all, pieces out into the background. I'll also use a kneaded eraser in a pointed shape to pull out highlights in the hair. From here, I'll continue to work on adding details to the value structure, blending where needed. I'm also using a plastic eraser to pull out the highlights. In this image, the troll's eyes are reflective, so I can use chalk to make the bright whites pop compared to the dark pupil of the eye. Be strategic with the chalk and use it sparingly with charcoal. When they blend together, they end up looking like a muddy gray rather than a soft transition. I also felt like the objects were too similar in tone to the background, so I decided to darken my background. This helped me to define the edge of my troll. I can see that I definitely need to darken the black stripes in the fabric since it's the darkest part of the image. I went back in with some nice soft compressed charcoal. Then to add even more form to the fabric, I added a bit of tone on the white stripes in the folds. I tend to work around my drawing, building everything up at once in terms of level of finish. In the final stage of the drawing, I'm using a charcoal pencil to clean up any fuzzy edges. This looks like a good stopping point for me. Don't forget to check your face in the mirror for charcoal marks.